Hey guys, it's Ghosty. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be discussing my top 10 horror movies of the decade and top 10 horror movies of the year. At first, I wasn't going to be doing a video for this. I'm still in the process of moving. I won't be in New York for another few weeks, but I drafted up my top 10 of the decade. I really wanted to share it. And then I started listening to everybody's top 10 of the year, and I'm like, now I gotta do that. This is a super makeshift video. This video may be really long because I'm doing top 10 of the year and the decade. So bear with me, be along for the ride of this long ass video. I can't guarantee that a good edit of this video would be out. I simply just don't know if I have the time to edit this before the new year. Enough about my life, enough about babbling. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my top 10 movies of the decade. Some of my all-time favorite films are in this decade. I'm really happy with horror and where it is right now, starting with my number 10. Insidious. I'm a big James Wan fan. That's all I need to say. I love James Wan. I think that this was a spin on the creepy child genre, or the music, the score is amazing. The scares are so good and they're effective every single time. This really started off the decade. He started hot. Cabin in the Woods. I saw this months after it was in theaters. I started the movie and I was like, I didn't believe I was watching Cabin in the Woods. Spoiler alert, they market this movie to be just about the kids in the cabin in the woods, but you then learn that there's this whole world of people at work controlling the environment. What I love about Cabin in the Woods, what it says about the horror genre, the final act is amazing. Every time I saw something that was referencing another horror movie, I got so excited. It's a lot of fun. The Purge. I was so excited for this movie. When the trailer came out, I was like, this fucking movie. This was the first rated R movie I saw in theaters. I felt something watching this. But I revisited it recently and it still holds up. It commented on society more than I expected. I wasn't expecting it to be scary and political, make me think about morals and like, what would you do? It's just wild. I was so excited for this movie and the excitement stayed. Us. I saw Us twice in theaters in the same week. I had to. I'm a huge music person. The score is so good. And that final sequence with the dancing and the music and the fighting. I'm also here for the political commentary that came out of this film. I'm here for Jordan Peele making horror in general. I'm so here for it. I'm here for Winston Duke in a fucking Howard crew neck and checkered boxers. Also, Lupita, can we talk about Lupita? She is, I love it. I knew I was gonna love this film. I love this film. I still think about this film. I need to own this film on DVD, but I don't. Midsommar. I debated having Hereditary on here, and at some point in time, I had both Hereditary and Midsommar on here. The reason why I went with Midsommar is because I rewatched Hereditary and I still enjoyed it, but I was just like, okay, like, yep. But I watched Midsommar all the way through 3 times, and I saw the director's cut, and I would still watch it. What it is because Midsommar's score is so good. When I was putting together this list, because I mentioned in Us, I love the score, I realized that a lot of the time the score or the soundtrack to a movie will basically make me like it more. Midsommar, I'm like, that's my baby. That is my love. I love Danny. I love pretty much all the characters. They're all great. They're all essential. I love how bright and sun-soaked it is. Like, I feel like watching it, I'm just like getting a sun bath. Scream 4. I have so much appreciation for Scream 4 because Scream 4 is the reason why I'm obsessed with the Scream series. I did not like Scream growing up. I did not think that men in masks were scary. I strictly wanted ghosts or zombies in horror films. I like never watched Scream, and I was just like, the Scream movies suck. One day this was on TV and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. That was my first introduction to meta horror. Because of that, I visited the Scream movies for real, and now, like, late as fuck, this happened in my 20s. I'm like, Scream is one of my favorite horror series. I was born a year before Scream came out, so realistically I grew up with the Scream movies coming out, but I waited until I was an adult to appreciate them. By the time this movie came out, the Scream series had been dead for some time. I think the early 2000s. Scream 3 came out and everybody kind of hated it, and I don't like Scream 3 either. Scream 4 brought the series back, and I just think that it was a good comeback, and I love it. I've always liked it. I've always liked Stephen King. I fell in love with Stephen King in the most recent years, and it started with it. I had not felt love for a horror movie in a long time. I love the kids. I love the story. I love Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. I just love when I feel very connected with movies, and I felt very connected with this one. VHS. I stumbled on this one on Netflix. Was scared shitless when I saw it. I am a found footage enthusiast. I haven't watched many recently, but definitely around this time, 2012, 2013, I was watching a lot of found footage films. Anytime I saw one, I was like, this is the best movie ever! One of my favorite directors did a short for it, Adam Wingard. And I love anthology films as well, so it's just like found footage, anthology, put it together, you get Deanna's greatness. Sinister. This one was a movie I watched over spring break when I was in 12th grade. But I wasn't really anticipating it. I didn't really know what to expect. And holy fuck, I love the twist at the end, because I'm a slut for twist in the end of movies. And the snuff films, the films that he finds, if you just put that on a movie and just play them, I'm like, this is it. This is the best movie ever. And even thinking about them now, I'm getting goosebumps. Because they look so, they're so real, they're so dark. This decade had a poster demon, I would say it would be him. Bagul, I think his name is Bagul. Bagul? I don't know. But very scary. Conjuring. First of all, let's talk about how summer 2K13 was the best summer ever. I saw this movie Summer 2K13. You know me, I'm obsessed with the summer that I graduated high school for some fucking reason. It's probably because of The Conjuring. James Wan, haunted house story, great score, witchy vibes, clap clap. I anticipated this movie. I was like, ooh, what? James Wan? Haunted house? Can't wait. I was on a family vacation, on a family reunion, and they were like, let's go to the movies, and I was like, Conjuring, let's go see Conjuring. Like, and so there we were, my family, watching Conjuring. I was scared to get up at night to use the bathroom. I was so scared of Bathsheba for like months. I was just terrified of her. This movie scared the fuck out of me. And it brought back my love for horror. I've always kept up with horror. I've always like, oh yeah, I love horror movies. But I was just like, yeah, you know, hadn't really fallen in love with the movie in a long time. And then this came out and I watched it and I was obsessed with the story. And I went home, ignored the whole fucking family reunion on my phone, researching The Conjuring real story and behind the scenes in movies and James Wan script, like just completely obsessed with The Conjuring. It means so much to me, and when I think of 2013, Conjuring. Now I'm going to talk about my top 10 of the year. This was really hard in the sense that I had a few movies that I'm like obsessed with, and then the others are like movies that I think are great movies, but I'm not obsessed with them. Zombieland Double Tap. I was really excited to see this movie. I wasn't disappointed. It met my expectation. I think that for this film to be revisited so long after the first one, it did really well. The humor, it lands every single time. Child's Play. I could not stop talking about this movie. My love for it has kind of like fizzled out a little bit. Revisiting the storyline now, there's some definite like issues that I felt like they were issues when I saw it, but I was just like, I don't really care. But now I'm like, okay, like maybe not like the greatest thing ever. The Lighthouse. I have poor comprehension skills. I needed subtitles. Aside from the fact that half the time I did not know what the fuck these people were talking about, I still got something out of this. I still enjoyed it, and I was still like felt so like ugh. It is wild. I love movies that kind of just take me out. Dr. Sleep. The Shining was one of the first horror movies I ever watched. Never was super in love with The Shining. I can respect it as like one of the greatest horror films of all time. I understand why that is that. Just me personally, there's no attachment. Dr. Sleep. I felt something. I felt a connection. It was giving me like X-Men vibes. I loved exploring the whole world of The Shining, seeing what else was out there, who else was out there, what other powers were out there. Getting to know Danny a little bit more and watching him grow up and see how that house and that whole experience affected him. Mike Flanagan is doing the fucking damn thing. I was pretty excited for this and I was impressed with this. Little Monsters. I'm personally offended that this did not get a fucking theatrical release. I love zombie films. I hadn't seen a good zombie film in a long ass time. I saw Lupita. That's all I needed. And this movie was hilarious. And it was fucking cute. And it was heartfelt. And it was fucking hilarious. And it was cute. And it was heartfelt. If you haven't seen it, please go on Hulu and watch Little Monsters. I promise you will not be disappointed. They're perfection. So I kept hearing the buzz about this, and I was like, all right, Twitter, please do not do the thing that you did with Bird Box. Social media got this right when it started talking about the perfection. I think that the reason why everybody was talking about it so much because it was so fucking what? Never got bored once. I am here for this like lesbian love story that I wasn't expecting to get. I'm also here for like the weird timeline and the twist. It kept making twisties and turnies, and I was just like, oh wow, this is really deep, and this is about shit that I didn't even expect it to be about. Also, being a musician, I love that this is about musicians, that whole industry and how competitive it is and how hard it can be on someone. Everybody keeps talking about that Allison Williams lady, and she's like cool and all, but fucking Logan Latrice, bitch, like that's Sasha and Bratz, y'all. Do not underplay my Logan Latrice. Ready or Not. I love this movie. I didn't even expect to love it. I was like, this will probably be a good movie. Nice 3 stars. Walk out of the theater like 5 stars. This is the best movie I ever saw. I know what it's like to just get through shit because you just fucking have to. You have to survive, and when you have less resources and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you figure it out anyway. And I think I connect with her so much. For Noir. This movie is the reason why we're here today, lads. This is the whole reason I started a YouTube channel. This movie told me that there are Black people that create horror, that love horror, that I'm not alone, because often I feel like just that one kooky Black girl that loves horror. And there's so much to be said about what we're doing in the genre and the strides we're making. It really like brought me closer to the horror genre. It really made me feel like I could do something in this industry. I've talked about it already in this video, and I've talked about it already before because I reviewed it. I love Us. I love Lupita. This movie was so great for me. I love the experience. I'm not gonna say that shit again. I thought that Us would actually be my #1 of the year, but I saw another movie that I just so happen to fucking love more, and this movie completely fucking blindsided me because I didn't even know I was gonna love it like this. But yeah, so Us is my #2. Midsummer. This is probably no fucking prize. I talk about this movie a lot, guys. I heard buzz about this film and I was like, okay, I'm excited, but like Hereditary, like you're not gonna top Hereditary. You're not gonna top Toni Collette and sexy ass Alex Wood. This movie came out and I was not expecting it to be my number one. Yes, the score. We talked about this. I fucking love the score. But I also did not mention, I'm always in a toxic situation with someone, and seeing the toxic situation on screen, I was just like, okay. I could talk about how great and the acting, and I wasn't expecting this to be humorous, but it's fucking funny too. All the characters have like depth to them. This movie came out in July, and I'm like, I think about this movie once a day. Thanks guys so much for watching this video and bearing with me through this makeshift whatever. We got boxes in the background. That's how you know I'm actually moving. I will see you guys in February, ready to kick off the year. You can follow me on social media. I am on Twitter at Ghosty, and I'm on Instagram at Disco Llama. Oh wait, hold on. I have over 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. Yay, we did it in my first year. 2019 was a good year, and yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next year. See ya.